It's time for Tech Talk on Binjang 91.5 with Matthew Dickerson, and I'm your host, Tony Graham, in Studio 2. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning, Tony. I'm Matthew from Studio 3.
Oh, I'm very pleased to hear that.
You didn't know you had a third studio, did you?
No, I didn't. Well, I know now.
That's
I
right.
certainly know now. Look, the first question I have for you, it's a nerd question, so I thought that's a pretty good one. Are you having trouble with mobile phone reception where you live? And if so, have you considered moving to the moon?
Well, it sounds like
Maybe perhaps you're already there.
perhaps it's Studio 3 from the moon, Tony. So it sounds like a crazy idea, Tony. Surely sitting here in regional New South Wales, our reception is going to be better than the moon, but NASA has just contracted Nokia to, wait for it, create a 4G network on the moon. First of all, I'm disappointed that it's not a 5G network. They've gone for older technology with a 4G network, but they're building a 4G network on the moon. They say that this network will be ready for moonwalkers by late 2022. So we're not talking way off in the future, we're talking a couple of years away. And so it'll be used for voice communication, it'll be used for sending data, but also it'll be used to be able to power and control things that might be on the moon. For example, there might be robotics, for example, or maybe when people are up there, might be able to monitor their health and fitness using some biometric sensors. So it sounds quite incredible, but this is all part of NASA's Artemis program. And the idea of that is that they want to establish a base on the lunar surface by 2028. And of course, the first thing you need if you're going to establish a base anywhere is a mobile phone network. You couldn't possibly do it without a mobile phone network. So it's quite incredible that we'll see a mobile phone network on the moon.
Well, now that you've explained it, it does make sense.
Kind of.
Yes. Yeah, well, it does.
But I still wish we'd have better reception out where we live. I'm not going to the moon anytime soon, but I certainly travel around this region.
Yeah, let's start here first, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, the next question is about the old inbuilt redundancy trick. So the big question with that is, since the iPhone 12 announcement, do you reckon that the old iPhone is slowing down with the reduction in the battery life?
Well, if you listen to the conspiracy theorists, Tony, then absolutely. The old iPhone, the day the new iPhone is launched, it happens every year. People come out with all these conspiracies that Apple then deliberately slows down your old phone, reduces your battery life, so you get frustrated and annoyed. And then, of course, what do? You have to go out and buy the new phone. But there actually is some reality in the fact that your phone does tend to slow down and the battery life's not quite as good shortly after or around the same time as an iPhone launch. But it's not some grand conspiracy by Apple. What it is, essentially, is that normally when you launch a new iPhone, there'll be a new iOS that goes along with it. And with that new iOS, there's some re-indexing of files, there's some features that have been added to your phone, there might be some extra graphics that are added into your phone, and all of those things just take a bit of extra processing power of your existing phone, which seems to make it just run that bit slower. And then things in the background, for example, like some re-indexing, that's working away in the background without you realising it, which is chewing up a bit of your battery power. All the people that make apps then, they get on the bandwagon as well. The new iOS has new features, they can take advantage of those new features, so they release new apps. So suddenly you've got all these updates in the App Store, they're downloading in the background, so they chew up a bit more battery life, and they're a bit more bloated, so they tend to slow down your phone as well. So you're not imagining things when you think your phone is slowing down a little bit when the release of a new phone comes out, and you're not imagining things when the battery life is diminishing, but it's to do with more the new operating system than it is the fact that a new phone was launched.
So it's not like my printer that gets up to a certain amount of pages and decides, that's enough, boys, and signs off.
Well, it may be another conspiracy there that you can start, Tony. You can start that right here, that once it does a certain number of pages, that printer manufacturer then starts to make that printer fail. But things do have a lifetime. Technology does have a lifetime. You might call it built-in obsolescence. You might call it just wearing out. But when people hit a certain number of pages in a printer, things do start to go not so well.
Oh, well, I can guarantee you that when I use a printer, I use it very thoroughly, and it gets to a point where it decides that it can't work any longer, even though it was working perfectly the page before. And it actually is an inbuilt obsolescence thing there. and that actually does happen. Most people wouldn't know because they probably don't print enough, do enough printing to find out.
You're quite right. I think people replace their printers a bit earlier. They want new features, new speed, new resolution. So, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. Yes. Well, Matthew, the next topic, I guess, is wireless charging. That's a very interesting topic, isn't it? So how good is it, though?
Yeah, look, it's convenient, but up until now, it's been a bit too slow. And there's a company called Xiaomi, spelt Xiaomi, and I'm always never sure to pronounce it Xiaomi or Xiaomi, but basically they've now introduced or announced an 80-watt wireless charger. That goes in conjunction with the phone, obviously. There's no point having an 80-watt charger with a phone that doesn't support that. And they talk about getting a full wireless charge from a dead flat battery in under 20 minutes, which is quite incredible. They talk about a 50% charge in 8 minutes. And obviously, as you get closer to a full charge in any battery, it starts to slow it down. Now, when you think about that 80 watts, is that a big number or a small number? Most of the chargers, the wireless chargers that people use now, are around about 7 watts. The new iPhone 12 that's just been announced has got a MagSafe charger, which is 15 watts. Some phone companies, even Samsung, have been talking about chargers up to maybe 20 watts. So 80 watts is a dramatic improvement. And wireless charging is convenient. You sit it down on the charger, it just starts charging up. Many cars come with wireless chargers now, so you just sit your phone on the centre console, it starts charging. But again, if you want that faster charge, normally you're better off plugging it in. But if Xiaomi has its way, people will be buying their phones, or other manufacturers might license their solution, and then you'll see those much faster charging times. Oppo have got some fairly fast chargers. They're up to about 50 watts at this stage, but nothing has come anywhere near the 80 watts that Xiaomi is talking about at this stage. So wireless charging convenient, but it won't be that far away before wireless charging is also very quick.
Well, I can hardly wait for the day. And you've been listening to Matthew Dickerson with Tech Talk. And listen this afternoon again at 3:40 p.m. for another session. And now it's back to all the good information and music on Binjang 91.5.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Matthew.